diversity. Unify. Break this prison for your mind. Unify.
All right, go right ahead.
Libation should be poured by the elder in the village, and then the village responds in an African tongue. We'll say Ashe. I want you to think of the names of those people who I don't know, because I'm going to ask you to share their names with us in a moment. I'd like to pour out a little love, though, for Denmark Vesey. Ashe.
Ashe.
I'd like to pour out a little love for Nat Turner. Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe.
I want to pour out a little love for Sojourner Truth. Ashe.
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 A little love for all those people picking cotton. We don't know their names, but they work from sun up to sundown. They pick cotton, stooped over, all day long for free. We love them. They did the heavy lifting. We don't know their names, but I want to pour out a little love. Say Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe.
America would not be America without Black people. We've all contributed. It doesn't matter what race or gender you are, but Black people have contributed to America like no other people, especially no other people that have been oppressed from the time we set foot on this continent. Someone was talking a minute ago about Dory Miller. Dory Miller was a war hero during World War II. He defended America with his life. And when he got home, they escorted him to the back of the bus. I want to pour out a little love for Brother Dory Miller. Ashe.
Ashe.
I want to pour out a little love for the Tuskegee Airmen. Ashe.
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 They escorted bombers to Germany and never lost a bomber. It came to the point to where if a bomber was going on a mission, they actually asked for the Red Tails to escort them. I want to pour out a little love for those brave soldiers that we don't know. We don't know their names. We know Dory Miller, but there were so many thousands of others that died for this country. We pour a little love for them as well. Michelle Obama brings to our attention that the White House was built by slave hands. That's our house. We got rid of the current occupant, and he's sure trying to hang on to it. But America is America, and we have fought for America. We love America. And I want to pour out a little love for all those great builders, masons, and carpenters that built that great house. Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe.
I want to pour out a little love for my mother. Her name was Roberta Robinson. She died when she was 92 years old. Ashe.
Ashe.
I'd like for you to say the names of your loved ones right now. Say the names of those people whose names I don't know, but that we need to honor, because we pour libation so that we never forget, so that the people come alive inside of us when we say their names. Say the names of your loved ones as I pour. Say their names.
Willie James Howard.
Ronnie Meredith.
Say the names.
Sean
Chris
Cleveland.
Brady.
Annie Posey.
Obi
Abner
Gordon,
Posey. Quentin
Anita
McDaniel.
Smith, Wiley Hardy, Adele Hardy. When you say the names of your loved ones, they come alive inside of you. Yes, say their names. Say their names. When you stop saying their names, they're truly dead. Never say the names of those people whose shoulders we stand on and are obligated.
Yes.
I pour out a little love for Jelly Roll Morton. He said he invented jazz. Ashe.
All right. Ashe.
I think I better pour out a little love for W.C. Handy, because he said he invented jazz. So they're going to have to work that out. Ashe.
Ashe.
I'm going to pour out a little love for Duke Ellington. Ashe.
Ashe.
Captain Basie. Ashe.
Ashe.
A little love for Billie Holiday. That sister recorded for 11 years. Never had a royalty check with her name on it.
Wow.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Henrietta Lacks.
Man, I want you to remember that libations is something that we do every day. Remember the people that came before us. Remember the people whose shoulders we stand on and are obligated. I remember there was a man He lived in Bayview, Hunters Point, and the police killed him like he was standing there with a firing squad up against one of the walls there. What was that brother's name?
Mario Wilson or Mario Wilson?
Wood.
Ah,
Wood.
that's
I
it.
say.
That's who I'm talking about right there. Don't forget his name. Mario Woods, that's his name. What about Trayvon Martin? Ashe?
Yeah, I
Ashe.
say.
Breonna
Oscar Grant.
Taylor. Ashe.
I say.
He's proud.
Oscar Grant.
Ashe.
I say.
About the young man that we watched get murdered with the
Yes.
E on his neck.
George Floyd.
Ashe.
I say.
A little love for young Tamir Rice, 12 years old, playing with his little toy gun. As soon as the police rolled up on him, his life had ended. Tamir Rice, Ashe.
I say.
Sandra Bland, Ashe.
I say.
I want to pour out a little love for my grandmother. Her name was Lucille Jordan. She lived a long time too. Ashe.
I say.
Right now, we're pouring libations for those who have passed away. But you can pour libations for the children. You can pour libations for the elders because it's a commemoration. It's to remember. It's to remember. Remember the children. Everybody right now, say the name of a child that you know needs your love.
Ooh.
Summer.
Right?
Sincere.
Yes, sincere.
Lorenzo.
Ah, there you go. That's how you do it. As we pour this water, our voices vibrate through this water and it becomes something special. I'm going to make sure that this water ends up on my plants. My plants is going to be so happy. They're going to grow green with the love that we have all put into this. Right now, I want to pour 3 Ashes. Ashe.
Ashe.
Okay.
Ashe. Asheo.
Sister Barbara, thank you so much for honoring me and allowing me to bring the ancestors alive, for allowing me to say their names again, to remember, to be a part of your gathering. And I turn it back over to you. Thank you.
And thank you. You're very, very welcome. We wanted to make sure that we honored the men that came before us, and we're inspiring men today. Men inspiring men. So we have these great men that's here on this session, and we want to honor them. We want to thank them for taking out the time, because we know we hold you up and you are important in our lives. And it's about making sure that the people that's doing the work on the ground levels and that's in this world for such a time as this, that you were born with a purpose to be in this time, to share with us and for us to encourage others. So I now have a brother, Mr. Anthony McMillan. He's going to share a little bit about the organization that he is working for. And then he may share a little bit about himself. Time is of the essence, but however, we will get through this. We will respect everybody's time, and we definitely we can't wait to hear our guest speaker this evening. Mr. Anthony, is over to you.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for having me. My name is Anthony C. McMillan. I'm 63 years old, and I'm a resident monitor / drug counselor at a facility and recovery home by the name of La Familia, which is at 425 Vernon Street in Oakland, California. This recovery home is a Spanish drug recovery center, but it accepts other individuals. And we have individuals that there's a rampant methamphetamine problem in Oakland, California. Also, heroin, crack cocaine, and opioids. These individuals come into this program. They first have to be assessed at a place called Cherry Hill, which is off 150th Street in San Leandro. And after 2 days, they're allowed to come and live in our recovery center, and they're allowed to stay for 90 days. During those 90 days, they attend 2 to 3 groups a day. They're fed, They receive clothes. They receive education on themselves. They learn about their emotions. They learn about their triggers. They learn about their addictive behavior. And they get a lot of inspiration and motivation. But the real battle starts when they leave. But for me, my mission is to reach African Americans in the community also. Myself, it's all Spanish speaking people, and there's only myself and one other African American individual there, but we are the ones who really do the uplifting of these individuals. And what my goal is to spread this facility throughout the community and bring in more African Americans, and to let African Americans know that there is a place in Oakland that they can come to and receive treatment. My past, I've worked at another place in San Francisco. It was called the Friendship House. It was an American Indian recovery center. And I've also worked at the BART methadone clinic, and I've also worked at the Medmark methadone clinic. And I run 2 groups during the week, and I teach them about motivation and inspiration and how to fight those addictive behaviors. And I teach them about the distractions, and life goes on, and what they're going to have to deal with. And some do, some don't, some will, some won't. But what I'm there for is to plant the seeds. And I'm looking to flood Oakland with literature about La Familia. They have 28 programs. African Americans don't even know about this facility. There's a rampant drug epidemic in Oakland, California, and it has gotten out of control. And I just hope to spread the good news and let my people know that there's a place that they're welcome to also. So let me tell you a little bit about my past. I'm 63 years old. I had a drug addicted past, but through my marriage, I was taught about loving myself, and it woke me up. And I learned that you can't love anything or anyone in life until you love yourself. And I love me some me now. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity that God has given me to just live again. I don't want to talk a long time. I can keep on going.
No, I thank you. We really appreciate you. This was also about making sure that if anyone had anybody in their lives or anybody that they knew that needed resources, this is all we're talking about, men inspiring men. So we wanted to bring resources to the forefront for the men to be able to go to and connect with. We also have the Bay Area Black psychologists that we wanted to make sure that we connect them to. Again, we want to thank you for sharing, and then we're going to turn it over to Mr. CW. How you doing, Mr. CW? And we thank you for being here, brother. And
Yes,
we want you to go through your whole test of whatever you wanted to share tonight to inspire the brothers. This is what this is about. We still gonna do that. The devil is busy, but that's all right.
No, it's
Because
okay.
our ancestors said it ain't so. So
Amen.
our ancestors is teaching us as just as well as such a time as these, that we're in these times, that it's for us to be able to be still, to listen, even though in difficult times, just as well as they did. And all of this thing that happened earlier, we know that it wasn't supposed to be. So, but we pushed through like we will continue to do, like our ancestors do. And I just want to say, brother, we thank you. You are a young man. And we got old heads on here, as my daughter would say, to balance us also. We sisters just want to hear you all, and we want to thank you again. Let me stop talking. Go ahead, brother.
Well, first off, Ms. Howard, I want to thank you. I'm honored for the opportunity to speak this evening. I also want to thank Sister Samantha because she referred me, and that was a huge blessing, Queen. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
My name is Calvin Burnett, but I write and facilitate under the name CW Burnett. And I'm from East Oakland, California. I was raised in the streets. I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of self-inflicted wounds that I brought on myself trying to emulate a way that was counterproductive to me becoming the best man that I could be. And I always say that our young Black children need direct references to success outside of what we see on television and social media. That's what we lack. And I think that's the main thing, one of the main things that's holding us back. Um, I wrote a book, What's Wrong with Men? Men being an acronym for the ladies' names, Monique, Eve, and Natasha. And it was a part of therapy. I think therapy is very important. It's taboo in our community. You know, we look at that as a admission of weakness by going to see someone to help us trace the origins of our trauma. But I had to. I was in a place, a very, very dark place, where everything around me was collapsing, from my relationships with women to my interactions with Black men like myself. I was always on guard. I was always ready to engage in conflict because I thought that that was the way for me to solidify who I was in society, which was totally false. Um, a lot of us go through that. A lot of us do. My daughter being born, I have two. One that was God given. One that when I came into her life, she was 5 years old, and then my biological daughter, who's now 8 years old. And when she was born, you know, I looked at her and I said, "What if she brought home a version of me one day?" And it brought tears to my eyes because I was nowhere near the man that I wanted her to marry. And gradually, I tinkered with the idea of getting help. But even then, you know, I still did what I did. And eventually, I took that step. And that was one of the greatest decisions I ever made. And writing became therapeutic. Right now, the work I've done has been fictional work, but all of it has real underlying truth to it, real stories relatable to our people first and foremost. You know, whoever else gravitates to it, you know, I appreciate it, but it's about us. Like right now, I'm wearing the shirt. This is to my book that'll be out next month. It's called Deshaun's Road to Redemption. And it's about a Black man who gets into trouble and he's court ordered to see a therapist. And originally he's very rebellious, but she starts to unravel layers of his trauma, and he starts to have to face all the things that drugs and alcohol helped him forget. You know, because we tend to lean on vices to bury the things that bring torment to our lives.
Yeah.
So I'm a very big advocate on therapy. The book is him and his therapist, the entire book. I researched Black therapists for the last year and a half, and to put together this story. I also started facilitating a father group. I wrote a curriculum. I was born in I was raised in a single parent home. You know, my mom did the very best she could, and she's also a product of Oakland as well. And she battled some vices herself, you know, which made things for us a little difficult. And I understood the importance of fatherhood because children not only need us, they deserve us.
Yeah.
And before any title that we obtain in life, our God-given title is fathers, providers, and protectors. And that's what we should be, educators and facilitators. So the curriculum I put together is called the Proud Father Coalition. And it's an 8-week program where fathers who may have been removed from their children's lives due to drug addiction, due to incarceration, or just due to immaturity, you know, not being man enough to stand up to the responsibilities. I help them take the necessary steps, not to rush in, not to feel entitled, but to earn their way back in their children's lives. And I also have another program called the Young Kings Initiative Program, where I teach a curriculum from boys, Black boys from 11 to 18. And we teach them basic things that they need in life to be productive citizens without having to think that rap and sports is the only way out. We teach them things from the basics of how credit works, basics of the stock market. We teach them how to properly talk in rooms where they need to have better verbiage. We teach them how to tie a tie. We teach them on how to conduct themselves when they encounter police officers who mission and his agenda is to get them off their square to kill them, you know? And those are things that I think every minority child should be taught somewhere along the way. We teach them basics of cooking, you know, just things to prepare them to be productive citizens on their own, you know, to obtain the king status that's rightfully ours. And so that's just a little bit about me. And if anybody have any questions or anything, you know, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Where I do want to say, see, when we do programs like this is what it's about. It's about connections. When you said what you do, I just thought of some other men, and we got Brother Clint that's on here. Brother Clint is going to share a little bit about what he does and his organization. And then we have Brother Aaron and Brother Frazier. These two brothers talk about insurance and all that. So we are so proud to have you young men be a part of this session, because we definitely will continue to uplift you and give you a platform. And I know you already made platforms for yourself, you know, to be able to reach your people, men inspiring men, young kings inspiring young kings. This is what we need, just as well as the kings inspiring kings too. But you know, it's the generational thing is what we need to do together. And your story is significant to us. Our stories is all we got. So I tell people the good, bad, the ugly, appreciate, own your story and be okay with it, because your story is going to inspire someone else, encourage someone else to, you don't know what can basically happen when you share your other story. And I believe in that. I'm gonna let Brother Clint share something about what he does.
Well, I actually work in the Emory Unified School District. I worked in San Francisco, worked in Oakland, but we have a program called the Mentoring Men's Movement. It's a nonprofit out of San Francisco, and we help men that have gotten out of jail and want to stay out of jail. So we do recidivism resistance and going back into what's comfortable for you. A lot of our men have become institutionalized just because they've grown up in a world that they've become used to, and they feel more comfortable and more safe, if you can believe that, in a cage. And so we help them with housing, we help them with getting a job and all of the things that you need in order to stay out here on these streets. Now, me personally, I am the program manager of Simba Lion Kings. And we are a mentoring program, and we work with boys from 3rd grade to high school in Emory Unified right now. And we teach the virtues of Ma'at. So the teachers, they work on the children's brains and try to get them to be smart, but we work on their hearts, and we teach the virtues of Ma'at: truth, justice, propriety, balance, reciprocity, harmony, and order. And we teach those things in such a way that if you master any one of them, you're going to be a wonderful individual, and you're going to have a productive life, and people are going to like being around you. But Ma'at was a concept that was personified in this woman. If you ever see the Medunetta, or the hieroglyphs as some people call it, she's always depicted as the woman with the ostrich feather in her hat. She is the person that you would stand before during the judgment drama, and she would put your heart on a scale. She'd put her feather on one side, and she'd put your heart on the other side. And if your heart was light, then you could go on to what came next. We're all spiritual beings having a physical experience, but we try to teach the children to be about virtue. So the thing I like about this is ancient truth. The thing that I like about it in terms of teaching the children, and that's not to say that any of you that are Christians, that there's anything wrong with that, but Ma'at taught building strong character. So it wasn't so much about if you do good, you'll be rewarded, or if you do good, you won't burn in hell, kind of a thing. It was you do good because of reciprocity, because what you do comes back to you, because the energy that you put into the universe is the energy that the universe will give back to you. So just like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, they tapped into different sides of this energy. It's the same thing with us. And if you want to be Darth Vader, then by all means be the best supervillain you can. But for me,
Look, we ain't telling people to be villains now. Look,
no, I'm saying it's your,
but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
it's your choice. But my aunt taught character, truth, justice, propriety, balance, reciprocity, harmony, and order. These are things that build good character. And I say it to say, and they didn't do it for reward. They did it because that was just the right thing to do. It was just right to tell truth. It was right to do the right thing. It was right to put good energy into the universe. But there was no penalty if you didn't, except for your life. Like you were saying, the young man, Anthony, I think, is that what you said your name was, brother?
Yes,
And
sir.
Yeah. You're a pretty amazing youngster, man. You say you're 63 and you are one of the elders on this panel, but you're not the oldest elder on the panel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I say that to say you're a very youthful 63 years old, brother. And the things that you say in regards to the resources that we need, that's what Simba Lion Kings is about. If we teach our boys to be good boys, virtuous boys, they will grow into good men, virtuous men. They'll have no choice. It'll just be the direction that their life takes. Character is what virtue is about, and virtue builds character in us, and that's what I teach. I'm in Emory Unified. My number's there in the chat. If you want to get in touch with me, 7virtues@yahoo.com, or call Brother Clint on my 510-393-8803.
Back over to you, CW.
Yes.
Good stuff, Brother Clint.
Yes. And that's why I do things like this. I feel like growing up, I blamed a lot of my shortcomings on not having a father. I use that to demonize. I use that to be a beast, and that pain I was harboring from not having my father, and as I got older, I realized that, God put me through that so that once I became a father, I would be the total opposite, and I would give my children everything I didn't have and more. But even deeper than that, my passion is to help young men, because I believe that when young men have a direct reference, I'm gonna keep saying that when they can look at somebody who talks like them, moves like them, walks like them, come from where they come from, they're more likely to follow that path. And one thing I learned too from experience, you don't talk at children, you talk to children.
That's right. That there is true.
My mama was kind of like, do as I say, not as I do. And we really didn't have a lot of say so on, expressing emotions and feelings. But in this era, I find it very, very important to play on children's compassion. Let them know, I don't want you to go on that corner because I used to go on that corner. And when I was on that corner, X, Y, and Z was happening. You just can't tell them what not to do, because chastisement breeds curiosity. They want to know, well, why you don't want me over there? Let me go see what's over there. And so I want to network and connect with whoever, because this is my passion. This is what makes me happy. This is what brings me joy, is being able to be transparent and give my story and help others.
Brother, give me a call, man. Let's be happy together.
That's
Absolutely.
right. And this is what this is about. You guys making the connection. I know when you said you showed the t-shirt and you're going to write the book. Now, what was that? It said Black men have that.
It says Black men feel too. And across it, I don't know if y'all can see, but over his head, it says, like childhood trauma, anxiety,
Mm.
PTSD, toxic relationships, child abuse, suicide. These are all thoughts that go through our minds regularly. You know, like this, when you growing up in the hood, like you have PTSD from the moment you know what's
Yes.
around you. You know, it's in our DNA from what our ancestors experienced.
Mhm.
And you know, anxiety and depression, things we're taught to keep in, to withhold, and to be strong. Well, what does that mean?
Mhm.
What does it mean to be strong or man up, stand on your own 2 feet? So this book um, is a way for me to relate to relate to other people who may have experienced similar ordeals like the individual, which his name is Deshaun. And Deshaun was very narcissistic. He put his ex-wife through a whole lot, and
Wow.
he made her life one living hell. And she did her best to hold on and to be to him what black women have been to black men
Woo,
for
child.
centuries. And but he didn't have the proper tools to love
Mm.
himself, let alone love her properly. And so it
Wow.
took him to be stripped down to the bottom and lose everything. And what that black therapist did, a black woman named Dr. Jaleesa Bishop, she's a therapist in the book, and she helped him trace the origins of his trauma and understand that he wasn't the problem was the problem. And in order
Mm.
to correct it, he had to strip all the way back down to his childhood and face those demons he'd been running from.
Wow.
And
That's
that book is
awesome.
written. That book is
Oh my
written.
God.
It's in its final stages of editing, and I'm hoping to have it
Okay.
published and ready for purchase by the second week of December, just in time for Christmas.
Will this be at Marcus Garvey
Awesome.
bookstore?
So my current book is in Marcus Books. This one will be there too, and
Okay.
but this one, the ebook, will be on Amazon. But my website, I'm getting books out directly because, you know, Amazon, you know, they take a big chunk of your profit. So, you know, I'm going straight from the website.
That's right. Well, you know, we have to be creative, and that's what it's about, and that's what you're doing, and that's why we honor you. You know, we honor you, and we're so grateful to you and all the men that's on here. Is there another man on here that wants to share or encourage or say something? You can do that now if you like. Just unmute yourself. If not, Samantha, you have something you want to share with the brother?
It's just beautiful to see all these men on here today. It's just a
Oh,
beautiful
okay.
day to just see all these positive black men gathered around in one area on different avenues, different backgrounds, different angles of what they're trying to accomplish in the black community. So I think collectively, this is a pretty powerful group of black men that I'm sitting in front of. I just want to say thank you, Barbara, once again for the invite. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Samantha?
Yeah, I think just echoing those sentiments, certainly needing to have these conversations. And I think even just being a witness, what I'm lingering on in terms of what Brother Burnett said, um, your life changing, but one aspect is having a daughter.
Yeah.
And I think about how differently would it have been having a son, right?
Ooh.
So what is that relationship to now? It's not just about how I operate in society, but how do I come off to other people, and how is that affecting my lineage and generation? So if you wanted to speak more to just like what the light bulb that went off in your head, like she's gonna bring someone like me home, and you said I'm not having that.
Right, right. And you are right though. If I would have had a son, you know, I wouldn't have been as willing, you know, to go in deep and figure out what I need to do differently. You know, with sons, it's kind of like, man, me and my little dude, we gonna mob together. That's kind of like the mentality, you know, we have in the streets, like he gonna be me all over again. But with
Mm.
my daughter, even disciplining her and correcting her, I found myself like, okay, you know what, sweetheart, listen, okay, you can't do that, sweetheart. You can't do that. Like, so she definitely softened me, and she helped me tap into emotions that I really didn't know I had. I was so far removed from them. And she saved my life. She really, really did. She saved my life, you know, and everything I do is for her and her sister. And I'm trying to, you know, obtain generational wealth and give them
That's
the stability and the security that I didn't have, which I feel like is vital. You know, a lot of us grow up without stability. You know, a lot of us don't know where if we're gonna be living in the same place next week. You know, where our
yeah.
next meal coming from. And I think when you give a child stability, you allow them to tap into their God-given purpose. You know, you allow them to shine their light instead of dimming it because they're afraid and ashamed because of their situation at home. So,
Wow. That is awesome. So when you hear the word hope, what comes to your mind when you hear the word hope?
faith
Share
and
more.
belief. So, hope to me is built on the back of faith. You know, us believing in ourselves, like I said, shining that light that God gave us, because sadly, society and our community teaches us to dim our light and to follow trends and to follow fads that may be popular at the time, but may be compromising our integrity, you know, and it's deeper than us as individuals. And I think that's what we need to tap back into. We need to start having more pride in our race, you know, more pride and unity than self-pride. And that comes with faith and belief. So that's what I think of when I think of hope.
Well, thank you. You know, the other thing that you had made mention earlier was about what you guys are teaching the young men about how to tie a tie, some simple things that they need to learn how to cook for themselves. And you talked about credit, the importance of credit. That is so like needed in the community, especially in the African American community, about credit, because we think, well, society has you thinking that, oh, you can go purchase all these different things, but you don't forget when you when you purchase it and you can't pay it, then your credit go down. Then that then it's a domino effect. You can't buy a car, you can't buy a house. They know by design the reason why. So, what was the importance of you guys coming to teach them about credit?
Well, because me personally, I screwed mine from the day they gave me some, I tore it up.
Right.
and that's the story for everybody that I know. You know, that everybody that I know, that's the same story, but it's by design. It's by government design.
Yes.
Think about it. When you turn 18, right before your 18th birthday, you getting mail from creditors, like ready to give you some credit, you know, and even beyond that, even our young people who, you know, who discipline themselves and become collegiate scholars, they get in debt going to school. And then, so it's like they obtain all this debt, and then now they're going into the workforce, and now they have all this anxiety and stress because they got to worry about all these student loans. They barely can make ends meet. And so my thing was, you know, other races in particular, you know, Caucasians, they have generations of credit gain that they pass down to their children. Like they have generations and decades of customer service and being entrepreneurs and owning businesses. And you know, I see a lot of people saying things like they don't want to support Black businesses because the customer service is off. And there's no justification or excuse because we have to do better. But these other races have had this passed down and taught to them. We're learning on the fly. And so with the credit thing, I feel like anything that these young men are going to need to help them, to help eliminate them from making the mistakes I made, I want to give them. Credit is the main one. Like little things, just letting them know, like, okay, you open up a bank account, you try to get a secured account, you know, small limit, only using 20 at the max, 30% of your credit, you know, doing your best to pay everything off on time. So just giving them tips and just making them familiar with it. I mean, it's not like a huge course where they got to be down taking a bunch of notes or being quizzed. It's just putting it on their mind. So when they see it, they're not ignorant or naive to it. So I think that's very, very important. And that's something that we're really proud about, you know, implementing that and putting that on their mind. So when they go off into society, they'll be okay.
Well, that's, you guys are leading them in the right direction. And that's what it's about. You know, men inspiring men, men inspiring young men. And when you were saying about, let me start here. When you hear the word, what do you do for self-care? What do you do yourself for self-care? Because for men, how do you inspire another man to take care of themselves, you know?
Right. Well, exercise. Exercise is a main staple in my life. Like right now, if I don't work out, my day isn't complete, you know, and exercise is very important. Men in general, you know, just taking care of your body. Watch what you put into your body. That's your temple.
There you go.
Eventually, you know, I read, you know, I study things that are going to help me encourage and inspire, that's going to help me facilitate to others. So I would say reading and exercise are my biggest self-help practices I use. But the third one, the most important one, is my communication with my daughters. I talk to them every day. They live in Texas and we FaceTime every day. I make it a point every day I must talk to them, because at the end of the day, this is still a journey, and my transition is still taking place. By no means am I trying to make it like I'm above anything, better or anything, or that I've mastered anything. This is not even a day-to-day thing. This is a situation to situation type of thing. And they keep me grounded. And so those three things: exercising, reading and studying, and my children. Those are the things I do for self-help.
Love of self.
Is there any other man that's on there that can share with us what kind of self-care that you do yourself?
You know, I wanted to just tailgate on what, is it Deshaun?
No, Calvin, CW.
No,
whatever.
it's CW.
CW. CW, what you just said, those three things, that's very, very important. So I stopped aging when I was like 55, 56. Because I realized that the body atrophies. So like your arms, you look like you got some guns, man. And if you stop exercising your arms, they will go away. I'm just saying that your body is such that even your internal organs, like if you stop smoking cigarettes, in 7 years, your body would generate a brand new lung. It takes 7 years for a lung to do it, but it's the regenerating protein is the thing that your body eats and turns it into new cells and new tissue. So that exercising part that you're doing, if you make that your lifestyle, like you seem to have, then you will stop aging. And I say that literally. So you're going to age slower than everybody else is just letting gravity push down on them. Your internal organs, your muscular system is all going to just stop where you are. And so I'm like 95. You don't even believe that, huh? Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I was born in 1955, and
oh man, I thought you was old, brother. You youngster, man.
I was just saying I was older than you. That's all.
Got me by 2 years.
Y'all could have went to school together.
I got you by 13 years. I stopped aging. Here's the thing. What you're saying in terms of what you do is exactly what I do, and you're there already. I exercise 3 times a week. I drink 4 bottles of water, 16 ounces of water. First thing in the morning, I do sun salutations, stretch my body out. I give thanks every day for the food that I eat. I never put food in my mouth without giving thanks for that, because there are people who are not eating.
Amen.
a
Absolutely.
blessing.
Yeah.
You know, so little things like that may not seem like much,
Oh,
but
it is.
but it's that virtue that I teach the children in terms of your character. Brother, you have such a powerful character, man. You are just beautiful, man.
Thank you, sir.
They must hate you because you big and beautiful and you speak, you speak.
Glowing. He's
Man,
glowing.
I mean,
Thank you.
you're
Thank
one
you.
of the ones that they don't want around here, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna change things. So keep doing what you're doing, and then you gonna get as old as me and Brother Anthony, and ain't nobody even gonna know it. You're gonna look just like that when you 72.
That's the goal. Hey, look, I appreciate it. If I look like either one of y'all at that age, I'll be more than blessed. You
And
know,
I'm telling you, man,
You will, brother.
it is its own reward. That's all I'm saying. It's
Thank
its
you.
own reward. It's nothing. Just being healthy is what you want to do, and your little girl is going to benefit from that, man. She's going to benefit from a virtuous father, but she's going to benefit from a healthy father too. I've known Barbara Howard and her family for decades.
Yeah.
I've known. I was telling her about
Over 30.
It's got
Over 30 years.
the early 90s is
Yeah.
when I think we met.
30. Yeah.
But she had a store on 3rd Street, 3rd and Crusader, and I used to go in there and get my fish because they had good ass fish in there and they cooked it like I liked it. But what the story was, I went in there and her mama was in there and I put my order in, and then a gang of people came in after me, got their orders and left, and she looked over there and she saw me, she said, "Baby, you ain't got your food yet?" I said, "No, ma'am." But I wasn't finna say nothing to that woman. I wasn't finna say, where my food and all that. It's like I was so thankful to even be up in there in line, So she said, "Hold on." She went back and fixed me way more food than I had asked for, and then wouldn't even take my money. Just like, it's just love. I don't know. I seem like I froze up on y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
We
sir.
can hear
we can hear
you.
you. Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing I froze with my mouth closed, but brother, just to tailgate on what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. There's a mundanity to excellence. You cannot get excellence unless you do it over and over and over. Like Stephen Curry in that basketball, he had to dribble 1 trillion times in order to have handles like that. He doesn't even think about the ball anymore. The ball is a part of him. And you, a part of your little girl, if you continue to talk to her every day, if you continue to give her that good information every day, you'll be excellent at it. Whatever you do over and over and over, you'll become excellent at it. It's the only way you can achieve excellence is mundanity. So just saying you head in the right direction, but keep going.
I appreciate that. And I look forward to us working together very, very soon. I'm going to hold you up to that offer because when I'm reaching out to you, don't be pressing decline on me because I'm going to be calling you.
Okay, that was me to put my number up there. I don't see your number.
Okay. Well, when I learn how to do it, I'm going to put it up there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm putting my number out there because I want to know you, bro. I want to be like you when I grew up.
I'm trying to, where do I put that at? Y'all gotta excuse me.
In the chat.
Down to the bottom, go to chat, and then you can hit anybody up. You can do some private chat, or you can just hit us all up. But
Okay.
yeah, bro, you should call me, man. And right now, I just got funded from the Unified School District. I'm going to be having my professional development, and I'll invite you to come be a part of that. Maybe you want to be a Lion King. I call my boys lions, and we call ourselves Lion Kings. Simba Lion Kings is like a little play on Boys to Men. Simba's a young lion, and Lion King obviously is James Earl Jones. But yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing, brother. It's inspiring, man, to see young cats like you get there long before I even thought about it, man. When I was your age, man, I was a mess. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying I wasn't awake yet. I was doing all kinds of wild things. I'm surprised I'm even here right now. But I did make it, and I'm an Aquarius, and Aquarians are late bloomers, so I guess my time is now.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, CW, if you wanted to share and add more with you put it in? No, that was Anthony. Okay.
No, I put mine in there.
Information in there too.
Okay, I
Go
froze.
ahead.
I don't see it. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna have to get out and come back in because I'm froze. and I need that number, bro.
I put it up there. Y'all don't see it?
No, I'm saying I froze, man. My whole
Yeah,
screen.
he froze, but he's gonna come back in.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll be
Okay.
right back.
We don't see it though. Did you send it as a private chat?
Oh, he might have, because I do see it in mine.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh, it say to Brother Clint. That's why I'm gonna put it to everyone. Hold on.
see there. There we go. Okay, let me
I exercise too. I just want to let you know.
Go ahead, share. This is your time. This ain't ours.
Yeah,
We just
I
listening.
exercise too, and I found out that my body is my temple, and I contracted diabetes, and it changed my whole life as far as my eating habits and as far as checking labels. I don't partake in any kind of sugar anymore. It's all about water and it's about exercise. And I am, for 63 years old, I can hit 500 push-ups in a day like it ain't nothing.
Okay. All right. I see you.
And I'm serious as all outdoors. My wife tells me you need to take a break sometimes.
she don't know what she's talking about. She don't want that.
Yes, sir. You got to take care of yourself. I'm told I'm youthful. You don't look 63. Well, if you'd have seen me 20 years ago, you'd have thought I was 73.
Yeah, that's how it be sometimes. Like, I drink a gallon of water a day, and I make it alkaline myself. I put lime in it, cucumbers in it, and that just really helps hydrate the body. I take sea moss. I take
Just
bladderwrack.
Brother, you are so far ahead of the game, man.
Yeah, I take sea moss and bladderwrack every day.
Blow your mind in just a second, as soon as I get back.
Yeah, so I've been a lot more conscious about that, I would say, in the last year. Because before that, I was all over the place. I was heavily addicted to promethazine with codeine.
Syrup.
I sip syrup every day, all day. I was in love. I would rather be with syrup than a woman. That's how serious I was caught up. And if I didn't have it, you ain't want to be around me. And my skin was bad because it eats at your organs. It's like liquid opiates. It's like liquid heroin. And I was getting all these bumps all over my face. My skin looked dry. And I went to I was an electrician at the time. I was living in Seattle, Washington, and my girlfriend at the time, she would hit me in the middle of the night because she said I would stop breathing in my sleep. And I would wake up in these huge puddles of sweat. And one day I got off of work and she made me go to the doctor. She made me go, and they said, your kidney levels are 3 times as high as what they need to be. He said, I'm gonna reschedule your appointment in 30 days. If you don't cut this in half, then you're gonna have to go on dialysis. And that scared, I was 32 years old. That scared me to death. And when that happened, I gradually, I stopped using it a lot. That's not something you can just cold turkey. But within 90 days of that news, I was done completely. And I haven't partaken in that in almost 3 years now.
Hey, all right.
So yeah, after that scare, I got really conscious with my health, drinking a lot more water, working out, and just trying to do little things to help me become a better person. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't understand what we're putting in our bodies. I was a heroin addict, and it attacks your cardiorespiratory, and you can stop breathing in your sleep. Same thing with that syrup. I've known 2 people that have died in their sleep at a young age. You must take care of yourself. I'm just now getting into the sea moss, but I've been in the supplements for quite some time. And I have 5 boys, and my youngest son, he's 27. He's teaching me about the sea moss and the elderberry and all these different. So I just was bugging him yesterday about getting me the liquid sea moss, to put in the water in the refrigerator.
Well, if anybody needs any, I have a close friend of mine, and he has a herbal company online store called Circle Life, and they package it, deliver it. Any herbs that and they're a trusted Black owned business, their whole agenda is to bring these kind of things to the forefront from our people because we're naive to it. Nobody ever taught us this, you know, and then the things we eat, you know, which I'm gonna admit I'm gonna be eating on Thursday, you know, it don't it don't help, you know, it don't help. So, you know, we definitely gotta get these minerals and these vitamins and these supplements in us,
Right.
you know, that to help us last as long as we can, man, because you know the world need us.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Sebi, but he said a lot of the things that you're saying.
Absolutely.
And Dr. Sebi's not with us anymore because he was saying those things. You
Right.
wouldn't think that that would be something that would get you killed, but
Right.
he was speaking truth that will empower us. So what you say, brother, and the reason I said I was going to blow your mind is that you are here already. I just got here on the sea moss and the bladderwrack and things like that, but you're already there. So can you imagine by the time you the age of Brother Anthony and myself, the wonderful things you're going to be doing and achieving? I mean, it's like, I look at Sister Samantha and she is just so beautiful. She ain't even trying. She like wake up like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to embarrass you.
No. We understand.
I'm just saying that. Can you imagine the brother that's lucky enough to end up with this is his queen? She look like that in the morning when she wake up. Dang, it's like you are want to do the same thing for her though. You want to be just as beautiful and just as healthy. You know what I mean? It really is important, and you can't love me, C-Dub, until you love yourself. You can't love your little girls until you love yourself.
You can't help nobody till you help yourself either.
It can't be done. It can't be done. So you are the most important thing. And then I don't know, you know, I would imagine you talk like you're a single parent right now, but that's something that's like so doable. Black women have done that all along, you know, and we just up. That's all. Now it's time for us to step up and be that person. And
You know,
I try to.
my daughter's mom is a wonderful mother. She's a phenomenal woman. Actually, a few months ago, she just beat cancer. She had breast cancer, and she's only 37 years old. She's gonna be mad if she see this and see I'm telling her age. My bad.
Tell her that's all right,
no.
because she's beautiful.
She is very beautiful, very strong woman. And you know, that experience, it actually brought us together a lot closer. It helped our friendship, you know, because, you know, us both being young and we went through a rough stage. Because one thing I teach with my Fatherhood Circle program is that co-parenting is a marathon, not a sprint. And some seasons are far better than others, and some seasons last longer than others. And it's typically the bad seasons that last longer, you know. So we had to both humble ourselves, but you know, I made sure, you know, I had to be there for her, and I had to put any type of petty, whatever I was feeling behind for the betterment of her health and our children. And, you know, God brought her through that. And I'm just so proud of her for that. And no, they're in wonderful hands. They're in great hands with their mom. And she's engaged currently. Her and her fiance just they just built a beautiful home from the ground up in Texas. And I'm happy for them. You know, I pray for them in their household every night. And we got a good situation going on. And I'm blessed because it wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like that. So, you know, most definitely they're in great hands. And we co-parent very well. You know, she shares them as she should, you know, because no matter how good of a mother you are, you can't teach no children what they daddy need to show them, you know. So Christmas, spring break, and summertime, that's daddy time. And I do my best to pop up on them once or twice a year. Outside of that, on those three-day weekends when I'm able to. So we definitely have a good situation going on, and they're in wonderful hands with their mom.
That's wonderful.
You're very mature for your age, man. Talking about your little girl's mother and her fiance and all of that, man. I know some folks your age that that would not be talking
I
like,
do too.
man.
I do too. But you know what? I never been a hater. You know, at the end of the day, even when in the midst of my madness, you know, that's one of the things, you know, that Bay kind of teaches, man. You kind of, you know, it is what it is. And even beyond that though, like the type of man that I was when we were together, she deserved better than that. And I didn't have the tools or the knowledge to give her that. You know, I didn't have it. I didn't know what to do. And so I would be a fake individual to have any bitterness that, you know, God blessed her with that, you know, and one day, hopefully soon, you know, sooner than later, God gonna bless me with the same thing. Everything she wasn't able to be to me, you know, another woman is gonna be that for me. But until then, you know, I'm gonna work on myself spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially, because I feel like right now I'm still not the man I need to be for the woman that God got for me. I'm still not, I'm not worthy of her yet. So I'm gonna keep on pushing until I am.
And I want to be like you when I grow up, C-Dub.
Man, cut it out, man. Look.
Hey,
Cut
can
it
I ask
out.
a question? Could I often wonder, I see the lack of respect for African American women nowadays, that things that aren't being taught to young men. And I'm wondering if you elaborate these skills to the young individuals that you work with. It blows me away, the disrespect that our men have for our queens nowadays.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So, you know, sadly, I was one of those individuals. Um, Growing up in Oakland, there's this perception that we're the ultimate prize, and any woman in our presence should be thankful and grateful. And and that's the way the music industry, the entertainment industry, it supports that as well. And with the Young Kings Initiative program, me knowing that, I did a little fun spin where I reached out to a lot of my female friends and had them get all dressed up, and we let them come and we let the young men practice on how to approach them. And we let the women tell them what they like to hear, what they don't like to hear. No, hey baby, come here, baby, check it out. None of that. You know what I mean? They let the young men know, you know, how they like to be addressed. And it's crazy how these young, quote unquote, tough little dudes, how they melt in front of these women. You know, they crumble. They can't make no eye contact. They stuttering. You know what I mean? But I think that's just as important as us teaching them credit and teaching them on how to, you know, interact with officers. Like, they need to know that, because there's definitely a disconnect in the way that we've treated our Black queens over the years. And going beyond that, I wrote a piece called Why Are Black Women So Angry? And it's a piece I wrote, and it's detailing about how Black men, we've let our Black women down for centuries. And whether it was involuntarily, whether it was by choice, if you go back to slavery days where these women had to watch the men that they exchanged vows with to be providers and protectors beat and belittled in front of their eyes. Like they watched, they were raped and abused as we were powerless and watched it happen, you know. And then you fast forward to segregation, where we obtained a little bit more freedom, but we were getting dogs sicked on us, water hose sprayed on us, beat with batons, while these women stood by our sides, you know. And then you have the Black Revolutionary movement, where we became more educated, we became more proud about who we were. And then here they come with the influx of drugs and mass incarceration. So now we're leaving the home. We're addicted on drugs. We're leaving them to raise these babies on their own. So of course they adopted a level of resentment. Anybody would. And then attack on that, they had to go through that and then still be disrespected by the same men. And so the PTSD that has brought onto our Black women, you know, isn't discussed And is it nurtured enough? And now if you look at like our culture now, where now I feel like the Black woman is at her all-time high. And a lot of them have this attitude and this notion like, what do I need a man for? Because the men that they've seen as references have all either let them down or let women that they love down. So it's just for us as Black men to reverse that narrative. We can't feel like just because we a man, we're supposed to be able to command respect. That respect and that trust has to be earned all over again.
Come on, bruh. Man, how old are you again?
I'm 35. I'm 35, but I feel 50s. I need some of your energy.
Each generation gets weaker but wiser. So let me ask you this. So this is another thing. So I went to high school back in the 70s, played varsity basketball, and we as African Americans had a bond back in the 70s that was just unreal. We would have died for one another. We walk down the street and don't even acknowledge one another now. Yeah. What happened to the bond that we as African Americans once had?
Well, it became a power struggle because once they brought drugs into our community and we saw that was our direct way out of our impoverished situations, we would have killed our own family if that's what it took. You know, when you go so long without nothing, you know, you go so long with bare minimum, and now you have this opportunity to take this in your own hands, even though it's poison to your community, then now these blocks that we own nothing on, don't own nothing on them, these blocks become so precious to us that the bond in the united pride we're supposed to have, that goes out the window. And now I'm ready to do what I gotta do to you to make sure you never interfere with this cash flow that I got that's helping me be able to provide for myself and the people around me. And I think one of the things about social media that have been positive is that, you know, it wasn't cool to talk the way I'm talking now. That wasn't cool. And now with social media, we can connect through Zoom meetings like this, through Instagram, people in New York, people in Ghana, people in Colombia. You can find like-minded individuals and start there. And hopefully, you know, they go that hope word again with faith. You can help bring others around. But you can click one button and see, you know what, his movement is similar to mine. His agenda is the same as mine. And I think we're in a good space. We're in a better space than we've been in a long time. I'll say that.
You know, they have 24-hour substance abuse hotlines now that are on Zoom. Just like we're talking here, individuals that are having addiction problems, they can tap in and have a meeting with an individual that can help them at least find some kind of rehabilitation. It's just amazing.
What? I need to get with you, and because I would appreciate that information to pass on to people who may be in need, because that's very important. And I did not know that. You know, and I know.
Doug, would you mind putting your contact information back up there on the chat?
I will. I'll put my website. I'll put
all everything.
Just put all that. I put something up there. It's called mitochondrial DNA. Mitochondrial DNA is something that exists only in Black women. Well, let me clarify. Black women possess it, and they can pass it on to their daughters. They can't pass it on to their sons. Now, what this mitochondrial DNA or the Eve gene does is all people can come through a Black woman. Chinese, Caucasian, Black, it don't matter. They are the only humans that possess mitochondrial DNA. Right. So now, here's the thing about it, is that puts them closest to God. So in terms of the hierarchy, you got God, then you got Black women, then you got the rest of us, because of this ability that they have, or this gene that they have. It's like us and melanin. We are the only people, or melanated people, that actually can use the sun to grow, like a tree, like a plant. We don't tan. In the summer when you get darker, That's your melanin expanding like a tree. We don't burn. I ain't never had a sunburn. And anybody that's dark as we are, that tell you that they have it. I've got the skin burned off my nose, didn't know it till I got home and looked in the mirror, because my melanin, it protects me like that. Our skin takes the UV rays of the sun and turns it into energy, turns it into heat. We are such magnificent people, and Black women are even cooler than that. I'm just saying, if we were magnificent, Black women are the top of the food chain as far as human beings go. Look up the Eve gene. You think I'm playing? It's
We
true.
believe you.
I didn't make that up. Mitochondrial DNA. They call it the Eve gene. They trace it all the way back to Eve, or they try to. That's why they put that on there like that. But in terms of our women, I think that if you can end up with a Black woman, you've done well. But I think love is probably gonna trump that. For a while, I wouldn't even look at anybody that wasn't a Black woman. But I was looking for the wrong thing. And I got played, and things happen and whatever. But brother, if you could find a Black woman that's ride or die for you, you have hit the lottery. I mean, for real.
I hit the lotto. I done hit the lotto.
I'm telling you, man. It's good. It's good to have love, but if you could have a Black woman love you like that, man.
Well, I mean, yeah, love does trump everything, but I mean, I feel like love has to align with what you're attracted to as well, you know. And
Okay, and the only reason I said that was there was a time when they didn't hang out with Black people just because we were Black.
right.
So if you subscribe to that, then you're kind of being racist. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
just me personally,
that's
I
your
can only
particular
go
flavor
off
that
of where
you like.
my preference is. I only can go where I'm gonna go. You know, more power to whoever else, you know, go somewhere else. Like you say, love trumps all, you know, and I don't have no issue with that, you know, to each his own. But the queen of my castle gonna be a Black woman. That's just
Man, and I'm already knowing that that's the best case scenario. I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna keep it real. Like
I'm just saying.
Like if my love come through in the form of a different race, I might just miss it. I might just because you know, that's important to me, just as an individual. That's very important to me. My uncle is married to a white woman, and she's very good to him. He was married to a Black woman before. They have a child now, and he's very, very happy. I see a lot of people who are very, very happy, and I don't personally believe dating outside of your race. I don't think that minimizes who you are. You know, that doesn't take away from your Blackness.
No.
You know, some people do feel like that. I don't feel like that. I feel like that's a little, you know, that's just a little extreme. But as far as me and my agenda and the empire I'm constructing, that's just what's gonna happen. Like I'm speaking that into existence. That's what gotta happen.
So Sister Barbara's sister's right in the middle of my screen right there. You in your car? In your car? Sister, I just look at y'all, daughters of Wendy's Cheesecake, y'all were just all, to me, just fine. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh Lord, if I could end up with one of that woman's daughters, you know what I mean? And that was one of them things that you think about. I'm just saying. I mean, it was just like, they can't all be
This
taken.
is y'all show.
But I'm just saying, y'all were just awake.
No, but I respect it. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I ain't never came crazy at none of y'all, but man, you know, if I could have figured it out, man, I'd have been trying to press up. I'm just all I'm saying.
But you real.
But thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much.
And you know what? I do want to say to you men, thank you for definitely being open enough to speak your truth while we have women on here. You know, because some people would be like, oh, I ain't saying that part. I'm not going to say this. but because of who you are and you know who you are, you have no problem. And that's a part of the communication that we were talking about, that you guys were talking about, is that when you know who you are and you love you, it's okay. You can open, because and you were talking about earlier about relationships. On another note, we are, Samantha and I are putting something together we're going to talk about relationships, the African-American relationship between a Black man and woman. We're going to get down and we talking about the truth. So we're going to invite you brothers to be a part of that. So, it's all good, and making these connections and you all having an organic conversation with us being on here. This is an honor and a privilege for me. And I'm quite sure I can speak for the other women that's on here, that you guys feel comfortable enough to see that we won't hurt you. What you're saying, hey, it's empowering us too, Right. So, man, the time is of the essence. This has been an awesome show. We're going to do it again. This is not our first, not our last, but you all making these connections together. This is what it was about men inspiring men, and how do you take care of yourself during the COVID-19, during stress, and during all these things that you have to deal with as men. We are so thankful. B.H. Brilliant Minds Project Inc. is so grateful to have had you all on the tap-in session. And as we said earlier, that you all, if you have participated in the program this evening, you give B.H. Brilliant Minds the authorization to record you, your voice, your comments, and take your picture. And we definitely want to thank our sponsor, the Akanani Foundation, for allowing us to bring you all to share with the actual community. And this grant was for So Love Can Win. So we won, even though there were difficulties. Things started off, and as we move, and thank you all for inspiring and encouraging me to press through what we were going through earlier, because a lot of you on here know the actual story of me getting comfortable with dealing with the technology. I'm so honored and grateful again for your time and your patience. And we just want to say that we love you. We appreciate you, Mr. CW. We're going to pass it over to you for the final words. And y'all brothers, we know we're going to stay on the line afterwards, but we thank y'all for connecting up, because y'all was tapping in. Y'all went in, and this is what we talking about. We talking about tapping in to the real solution.
Is Baba Aaron still taking care of his little one? I didn't hear his voice.
Who? He had to get off, Mr. Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron Frazier is on here. His brother Henry had to jump off. But Aaron, did you want to share something, brother? Before Mr. CW closes out.
Yeah, I just briefly just touched again just about all this Black excellence on the line. But what Mr. CW said, I am also almost an adult, so I'm 38. So I'm like right in that little avenue right there. And what you were talking about being just a stand-up dude, regardless about what's going on, and co-parenting and everything that you were saying, I went through that. So it's like not a lot of Black men, especially young and our age or younger, have that mind frame like you have, to think that highly of the mother of your children. That's not my baby mama. That's the mother of my children. There's not a lot of people that think that way. So that's the same way that I think, and I just share that same thought with you. Kudos to you. It was an excellent day. I was my video was off because I was cooking and multitasking too. So
hey, you taking care of business as a Black man.
Yeah,
Baba, your family.
Baba Frazier.
It's all good, man. I thank you for that. I appreciate that. And iron sharpens iron. I appreciate everything, everybody for being here. Once again, Sister Samantha, thank you so much for referring me. Just for you thinking that highly of me to come and do this is an honor in itself. And I'm very grateful for that. And Ms. Howard as well, thank you so much for having me on here. Anytime you all need me, I'm there. Just say the word, I'm there. And I look forward to connecting with everybody on here. Like, let's connect, let's continue to stay in contact, and let's do our part in making it better for our people.
Right on, man.
Oh, and y'all be on the lookout for the book next month.
Yes.
Deshaun's road to redemption. I'm telling you, it's gonna stir up a lot of emotions, you know, because that's what's needed. You know, nothing grows in his comfort zone. And you know, that character went through a whole lot, and you know, it's gonna touch a lot of nerves, but in the end, it's gonna give Black men like myself who come from what I come from, it's gonna allow you to relate and say, you know what, I may have went through some of those things. Maybe I need to take that step as well. And it's gonna allow our Black women who are dealing with these men, and there's no excuse or no justification for any man to be that way. But the first step to correction is acknowledgement. So if our Black women can understand why our men are the way we are, that can help y'all, you know, with helping us even more than what you already have done. So thank you. And you know,
one last thing, CW, that shirt reminded me of an Instagram thing that I watched. It was of a teacher, and it was a white teacher. He lined everybody up, and it's pretty much said that if I call out these specific things, if you have never experienced it, take a step forward. So he's talking about like racism. He's talking about growing up in a 2-parent household, growing up like things that us Black people, that's just a norm for us. But he's talking about these things, and all the white kids are taking steps forward, right? And then he's like, everybody turn around and look back. It's like everybody who's in the beginning, it's all Black. He said, I have $100 for the winner. He said, to this day, if I still said go, a lot of these Black kids will still beat you guys. Off of everything that they're still behind. We're still caught up behind a whole lot of stuff from jump, you know, and that shirt just reminded me of that alone. Like the mind of a Black man is so intertwined with a lot of different things that you have no idea what we're actually going through. And it made me think about that, man. That's pretty powerful.
Right. Well, y'all check out the website. It's www.allidoispen.com. That's my publishing company. These shirts will be available for purchase along with the book next month, right before Christmas. Good little stocking stuffers, you know. Let's give the gift of education. Let's give the gift of reading. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
we need about 12 of those books.
Please do me a favor, CW. Would you text me your information, the name of your book, so I can purchase it? Your website, your email, YouTube, Brother Cliff, YouTube.
Yeah, man, just take a screenshot right now. It's all right there on the side. Me and C-Dub.
Okay.
So
Go to chat right now before we get off.
Send it to us.
Once the chat's over, y'all won't be able to see none of this, huh?
No, that's what I'm saying. So right now, go to chat. It's going to open it up, and all the information is there. You take a screenshot, and you have that.
Okay.
But that if you put yours up there, then you know we got a double chance of getting in touch with each other. I might call you. You might call me.
Well, we're going to make sure that you are all connected too, because as you said before, not only that we're doing these series just to be doing it, we're doing these series to make something happen, to make a connection, to make keeping and creating a legacy. As you were talking about wealth, this is wealth to me. This is wealth to us. This information that we have here, this is about wealth. And this is wealth building.
Yeah. Listen.
So I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay.
And then we're going to stay on for 1
see
second.
you.
Stop the recording. Hold on. And then because we need to take a picture.